A Hope Lodge is a facility in which a cancer patient and their caregiver can stay free of charge while that patient is receiving treatments.
If, while undergoing therapy, the patient has to stay in a hotel to go back and forth to the hospital, insurance doesn't cover that. Hope Lodge provides this excellent opportunity for the patient and a caregiver or two to come and live temporarily for free. But more than that, there's an emotional need. There is a need for comfort.
Where I really became engaged in wanting to do something for the Hope Lodge was when I had a conversation with a niece of mine. She is an OBGYN oncologist in Birmingham who was telling me about one of her patients who stayed at a Hope Lodge in Birmingham, and the level of support that she received because she didn't have a family. Her family became the people at the Hope Lodge.
2 assessments were done here in the Jackson area to ascertain if there was a need for Hope Lodge. Both surveys showed overwhelmingly that there is a need here in Mississippi for an American Cancer Society Hope Lodge.
It's important to Jackson just from a pure quality of life standpoint as well as an economic standpoint because having a facility like this will attract people to Jackson so they're using our hospitals and we can grow our medical community.
This is a whole new ballgame for the state of Mississippi. Our surrounding states all have Hope Lodges except for Arkansas. And so in Mississippi, it's time.
I was diagnosed with stage 4 testicular cancer in July of 1999. This is right after I finished my junior season at Southern Miss, where I set numerous records, and I was top of my career in baseball. And it's almost like getting hit with a ton of bricks, getting diagnosed with cancer, and I was scared.
Greg was diagnosed in Jackson. He had treatment, he was in remission. Then a short time later, the cancer came back, and we were told we needed to go to Indianapolis where the world specialist was. We were so focused on getting there, getting his treatment started. I guess we would have stayed in a hotel, which would have been extremely difficult.
When patients are involved in cancer treatment, number one, they're generally for a prolonged period of time, which is one of the reasons why the Hope Lodge is so important. It gives them a place, a sense of home.
Yeah, having my family there and also be able to stay at the Hope Lodge for free was a big advantage. I don't think they could make it to Indianapolis for 2 weeks and pay $200 a night for a hotel room. That was just impossible because, again, the expenses of me going back and forth were mounting up so much that the Hope Lodge offered a way for my family to come and help me and support me through the whole process.
The Hope Lodge was our refuge. After a day at the hospital, when you've had chemo and tests, and when you're able to go back there in that homey atmosphere, it is so wonderful.
You know, alleviation of stress and worry is a huge, intangible almost, that Hope Lodge offers people.
They did everything that we needed. As I say, the rides to the hospital, the media room, the food, the counseling. I mean, people would talk to you there. The volunteers were there for you.
The intangibles of people caring about others was one of the strongest points that made it possible for me to fall in love with Hope Lodge.
When my husband and son and I came home from Indianapolis, we were so pleased with our life at Hope Lodge that we really wanted Mississippi to have one.
Mississippi's Hope Lodge will be located on a piece of property that has been donated by UMC. Property is located between UMC and St. Dominic's Hospital, but is easily accessible from any of the local hospitals. It's within a 3-minute drive. When the Hope Lodge is complete, we'll have 32 suites available, in which we anticipate being able to house 1,000 patients a year. and provide approximately 12,000 nights of lodging for those patients and their guests.
There's also going to be 25,000 square feet. So you don't have to bump into people unless you want to.
Patients that will be staying at the Hope Lodge will primarily come from Mississippi, and specifically a 40-mile radius outside of the city of Jackson. However, it's not limited to just Mississippi. It's patients from anywhere that are referred by a physician can stay at the Hope Lodge.
We think that within the first year of operation, patients will save over $1.57 million in those kinds of costs that aren't even thought about when you think about cancer treatment.
I'm thrilled that Jackson's going to have one. I told them when I retired from state government, I wanted to work at the Hope Lodge, be a volunteer.
I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask each and every one of you to lend your support by giving a donation of time or money or effort to make this dream a reality.
Plans for Mississippi Hope Lodge are something that have been in place for over 8 years now, and we're very excited about it. First of all, we'll have a campaign in which we hope to raise about $11 million in order to build a Hope Lodge and a volunteer center. And we hope that over the next year, we'll be able to raise that money and then build the facilities.
Some of the best medicine you can have is a positive attitude. You can get some of that positive energy from the Hope Lodge and people around it. And so the Hope Lodge was there for me when I needed it, and now I will be there for the Hope Lodge when it needs me.
The end result of building this Hope Lodge is saving lives and celebrating more birthdays